entertained, if you will, and getting addressed at the same time. So obviously a lot of moving parts and a lot of traffic that has to contend to that. But again, at the end of the day, we all need it. We all want it to make it better. And so that's their part in helping get that addressed. I mentioned to the Board of Works, you'll see a couple other contractors floating around that's doing a manhole and lift station improvement. And guys, that's thanks to you. That was the IFA, Indiana Finance Authority, financing we did, and you approved. So Cooley, spelled C-U-L-Y, Cooley is doing our manhole and pipelining with a subcontractor, Robinson Construction, and then Link Electric is doing the lift station improvements. And so that is a big job. So you'll see those scattered out throughout town. Two last things I'll share with you. This Friday, the 18th, I'm hosting my next On the Bricks event. So that is Art on the Bricks, July 18th. Mr. Weatherman hopefully will clear up a little bit. We don't have to worry about a rain date. So right now we've got 26 vendors. We've got the fire department and the firemen doing fire burgers. We've got live music. So we've got some entertainment as well. Large amount of interest through the vendors, and we've had a lot of people really anxious to come attend the event. So please, if you're free Friday night, come out and support our local artists. One last thing I want to share with you. Had an in-person visit with some folks from the IEDC, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. We did some site visits, and those are always important for our business retention and expansion. And so in Salem here, we did visit Peerless Gear and Painter Machine Shop. Now, albeit two different size businesses, two different needs, if you will, but it was certainly good to get back in, discuss what's going on with their business, how the workforce is looking, how production's looking, and some future goals. So I was glad to be part of that. Had good visits with both. We also went to Independence Stave, which is right outside of the community, but still very beneficial. So those are some things I want to update you on. Lastly, both Chief Day, Chief Mills were the recipient of a community foundation, Washington County Community Foundation cycle. They do grants every so often, and that last one, they were both recipients, and they do have some plans to buy some rolling stock that will help us on the Monon South Trail. The Community Foundation also awarded the City of Salem on my application, and so we've got some projects to do as far as some greenscape, and they're going to help us with that as well as far as some downtown amenities. So, okay, please, Council, we'll move on. Reports from departments. Your financial statement for June is on pages 3 through 9. Sally, anything to add to that?
Nothing.
Make a motion we approve the financial statement as presented.
Roger makes the motion.
I'll second.
Gil seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Your senior center report and calendar on page 10 and 11. Naomi has provided. Routine, but yet busy. They have still got a very active senior center. Please then, if you will, unfinished old business. Sally, was there anything we omitted?
No.
Okay.
I've got one, Mayor.
Please, Dylan.
And I believe at this time I have been told that the AEDs are in all of our city police cars at this time. I think Chief Mills can probably speak on that just a little bit. I'm sure that was a successful project there. Yep. Last week.
Nice.
So all of our AEDs are in.
Good. Good. Thank you. Appreciate the update. Okay, Council, we have a few items of new business tonight. If you will, new business ordinance 2025-11, amending traffic code pertaining to truck routes on page 12 and 13. Council, what we have tonight is a series of requests from my office, the street commissioner, PD, even a little bit from the fire department, and how we're going to properly, carefully navigate some of our commercial traffic, knowing that the Main Street corridor is no longer a state highway. And protecting those assets as we keep investing in downtown. Guys, you know, commercial traffic is nothing new to Salem. Commercial traffic comes in on several different state highways, but we do have, with NDOT's graciousness, if you will, a few years ago, we do have a truck route that was designed for just that. And so, not pointing out the obvious, but nobody's asking anybody to stop maneuvering and entering into the community. NDOT has been helpful in some current signage, and in my request and the street department's request and some safety issues, we asked NDOT to revisit what they have posted on their state highways prior to the city limits. And in their traffic division, they usually have 2 or 3 overview committees that will review what we've asked for. But in this instance, they said, you know, it would be best if we had an amended traffic ordinance from the city of Salem showing what you want to do, and therefore our signs can reflect that. So in asking what was appropriate, Sally and I don't obviously jump in a day cab tractor and go across town every day. So what did they want before Sally could put something together? And so this is what they provided us with, some loose language in how it should be written. In doing so, Jake put this together. Jake, where do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us? How does this complement the city, and how does this help keep the excess? And I think that's what we need to think about, council. This is not anything for local delivery. This isn't anything that affects businesses downtown. This is the excess commercial traffic.
Yeah, so it essentially sets the threshold at 13 tons for the trucks, and it directs them to use the state highways when traversing into, through, and out of the city. It does provide an exception for like garbage trucks and refuse trucks operating within the city, and also for if trucks are making deliveries, they're just directed to take the most direct route to their intended destination when doing so, or otherwise coordinate that with the city. So that's really the high level of what the amendment does, setting forth the nuts and bolts there.
Does this affect any of our local ag farmers that might come through town?
Thank you. It would, in a sense, they would need to navigate the bypass when appropriate. So if they can take those vehicles at commercial traffic, if it's, again, to Jake's point, a 13-ton and over, for wide load, all these things in consideration, yes, it would be more advantageous if they would take the designated truck route. Now, to Jake's point, if it is such a thing that destination put them in such a way where it didn't make sense, I don't think we can split hairs. If you're going to drive 10 miles to only need to go 1 mile, I think we've got to have some understanding that's going to be a local truck. But if we're going to the barge, that's not local. So in doing this, council, if you so choose to consider this, what NDOT is saying after passage, then they will inventory and place proper signage. This would not be on our dime. This would not be on our labor. They would put the signs up on their highways, so 56, 135, 60, etc. They would be posting these notices for through traffic only, nothing permitted over 13 tons. So they would take care of how they're designed. I'm sure it's a copy paste. It's an application they've used elsewhere because they were very familiar with what we were trying to explain.
And this will allow our police officers to be able to stop people and issue.
Therein lies the next part. Roger,
issue
if we have, let's say somebody who's a little bit of a habitual, we're going to cut 10 minutes off, I'm going to go this way anyways, yes, then we have a little more opportunity, whether it be with our Salem PD, our county officers or state officers, yes, that would give them a little more authority to say, please, we need you to do this because of the city ordinance.
And they're going to have some discretion that they can allow based upon the route, what their destination
Know-
is.
knowing the destination.
reason that they're, okay.
Yeah.
This be first read.
Jake, how do you prefer? This is amending traffic ordinance. So we already have a traffic ordinance in hand. So do you want first read and suspend second read?
We can do it that way, yes.
So any fines that a police officer would potentially issue are already covered under existing traffic law.
Correct.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-11.
I'll second.
And suspend second,
Yes.
please. Okay.
I'll second.
Roger makes the motion to do just that. We'll suspend the second read. Dylan seconds ordinance 2025-11. Call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we will submit this and let them get to work on their end. Please, council, next, ordinance 2025-12 is a transfer ordinance on page 14 and 15. Sally, tell us what we got.
This is covering overtime in the MVH or street department. They ran overtime because of helping cemetery out because due to lack of one person over there. So it's created a problem there with overtime. So it's just moving it from one line to another.
I'll make a motion to approve transfer ordinance 2025-12.
Dylan makes a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Dan seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Council, if you will, accounts payable voucher claims, page 16 through 52.
I'll make a motion to accept the general accounts payable voucher register of claims.
Dan makes the motion to approve.
Second.
Randy seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Sally, anything under miscellaneous?
Nothing.
I have one quick thing,
Please.
Mr. Mayor. I think we might have overlooked, as most of you know, the Salem Lady Lions softball team advanced to the semi-state and came within one game of playing for the state championship. The first ever
How many
regional
years?
victory in the girls softball program.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a kind gesture if we had those young ladies and their coaches in next month and that we recognize them. Because we're very proud of Salem High School. We support all of our athletic programs at Salem High School. Since we are the city of Salem, we're very proud of them, and I think it would be a very nice gesture for us to do that, Mr. Mayor.
Roger, consider it done. That onus is on me. I apologize.
Well, I
And-
think
and-
we all get busy, and sometimes we overlook things.
And you know what? Success is a success, and a win is a win, and so we should. Let's get. I'll get it done. They'll be invited to our next session, and we'll properly thank and welcome them back home and all the efforts that they did.
Thank you.
Yep, that's a great point. Okay, Sally, we had no one sign for public comment.
Right.
Council, the last thing I'll say, and not to scare Diana, so we are entering into time to think about budgets. Sally is knee-deep in preparing those forms to comply with what SBOA needs. And so we are probably going to start having those discussions very soon in how the 2026 budget will look. Again, there's a lot of discussion points going on right now on SEA 1, Senate Enrolled Act 1, and what we're going to do as far as a level of government and what we are going to be shorted, let alone our other taxing units, school, library, Washington County government, solid waste board, et cetera. So there's a lot of discussion on how we forecast, and there's a lot of discussion on are those decisions going to be all appropriate, not knowing if the General Assembly picks up further discussion. So SEA 1 did pass, and that's why it's an enrolled act. It's no longer a Senate bill. It is Senate Enrolled Act 1. And so there are some things that Reedy Financial has already told us that, hey, Sally, you're probably going to have to change this to that, and you need to thinking about zeroing certain line items and keeping your budget intact that way. And what they're saying is that it's best if we start making some proactive decisions. And so Sally and I have told the department heads, Chief Mills, Chief Day, these are things that we're going to go out with, as we're not cutting anybody's budget. I don't want anybody to think that, because it's going to take what it takes. And if there's something that we can scratch our head and work a little more efficiently on, as always, hey, I own that, you guys own that. If there's something we need to be more efficient on, we're going to try. So, Sally, a rough breakdown, we'll probably start those in September.
Oh, yes, before, probably.
So
yeah.
we'll actually see some of this on the August agenda.
Possible,
Okay.
I'm not going to say for
So-
sure.
We'll be busy then for a few months. So anyways, okay, that's all I have, council. We'll seek motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn.
Dylan? Randy, thank you.